You think back to what would be a good year, like 2020, 2019, Cowie haven't won a Supercross title, and everyone's like if you sit here right now and if you just walked around Anaheim in a couple days and just polled everyone, it's like Eli Tomac, the man, like one of the GOATs on the Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
But you go back then, and the fan and the media sentiment was like, when's he going to win? He can't even win one of these things. Like, he's never... The way that it can change and, like, the way that you let it change is kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, was there any part of you that really wanted to, like, almost speak out and, like, tell everybody to piss off during that time? Because it would have been rough. You were one of the best riders in the sport that did not get the respect for it. And it wasn't until later that it came.
And it didn't come because I didn't have that championship yet. Dude, I had a crazy amount of pressure on myself for that. I mean, for good reason. But that was just a mountain on me. Like, not having the championship. And like I at the certain time, at one time, I was the winningest guy without the championship. And then that started getting pushed as a narrative, right? Now he's taken over, whoever. But
I think it was Hannah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It might have been Hannah.
But then getting the Supercross Championship, man, because that narrative was pushed. And to be straight up, I blew it on a lot of those years. Like 17, the thing in New York, like falling over in the turn and all that. And oh my gosh, you think back and you wish you could change some things, but I don't know. It builds it, and I was able to finally get it. But really getting that done changed a lot of my mindset and view and maybe even my attitude and the way I, presented myself in interviews or just was as a person to the media.
Did you want to, like, stick up for yourself? Did you want to speak up about it? Or, like, did you ever feel like pushing back? Because you did play it super cool through that process.
No, because I was just hyper focused to try to get it done, but I didn't get it done until 20. Like, dude, it was like 17, 17, 18. Like, I had these goofy little crashes, goofy moments, goofy races. And
what was it when you think back? Like, and now that you've done it, can you look back and be like, this is what I was doing wrong. That's why it happened.
Each year is very different, but I just wish I had the brain that I had now. That it comes down to, as much as I don't want to admit it, being mental, right? It just took me a little bit longer to really get it all figured out.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like 100%.
It is. I mean, 100%. You can blame the motorcycles in certain situations, but I don't know. It just, to win a Supercross championship is so freaking hard. 99.9% of it is done with hard work and talent, but you still, like, certain things have to fall in place.
And you were going against a guy named Ryan Dungey, who was the most consistent, like, wasn't the fastest, wasn't the gnarliest, wasn't going to do all the big jumps first, but goddamn, that guy was going to be on the podium, and he was going to be right there.
Perfect point. Racing against Ryan Dungey. It's like, how do you beat that guy in a 17-round series? And it's just like, it's so hard to be that guy and that consistent through those 17 rounds.
And like, when it comes to the mental, like, what didn't you have? Like, is it confidence? Is it self-belief? Is it blocking out noise?
It's all of the above. Like, what? Yeah. It's everything. Just believing that you are the man, right? Not second guessing yourself. Knowing, for me, like, just knowing my motorcycle in different conditions.
Yeah.
You know the track's going to feel this way, the bike's going to do this, that. Knowing your training works, right? Like, am I doing the right thing at home? And there just comes a point in the time where, for me, just your mind changes on that gate, like into a different mindset.
Yeah. How old were you, just out of like curiosity, when you first won in 2020?
27 or something.
Yeah, that's like, I feel like that's just kind of the right time for a
It is the
young adult in a way, you know? Like, you definitely do change a lot.
Yeah, late
around that
20s,
era.
your mind changes.
Yeah, did you feel it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's almost like that teenage
It's
thing
a
that
sw-
you were
it's a-
talking
it's
about,
a
you
sw-
know, like the
yeah.
Super Mini Switch.
It is.
It's almost like another one of them,
Mhm.
but when you're kind of in your late 20s.
Mhm.
And it kind of makes sense that that's sort of when it happened.
It's like you can breathe, right?
Mm.
I just think before that time, it's like everything irritates you, or it's like you just have. I was able to get more of this. Like, I don't know. I could take a breath,
Yeah.
you know, which led to being able to be more focused.
Yeah.
You know.
Does it blow you away that Jet can do what he does at such a young age, when you think back about like how hard it was? Like, obviously everyone's different, and I think every generation that comes after has it a little bit easier in a sense of just like so much more information from such a young age. And if you think about the time that you get to apply that knowledge in those developmental years, like it makes sense that that can happen. But is it still mind blowing? Like, damn, like he could do that at that age?
Yeah, I envy it for sure. Yeah, that he's been able to do that. Like, it's, you know, you think back. I think back, if I had like the mind I had now, you know, if I had like, man, you can control a lot of those emotional, you know, races or moments. And going back to Jet, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, yeah.
Yeah, because it's just, I mean, and you see some of the guys that have been able to do it at a super young age. But, I mean, the flip side of that is that you're now a dude that's in your 30s and is still out there. And it's like, does that flame burn brighter for a shorter period of time, you know? And it's like, what would you rather? Would you rather have, you know, more years in the sport? Because retirement's long. Like, you're retired for a long time, you know, like a few extra years of doing the fun stuff and like living the lifestyle that you live in. Like, that's a special thing too, you know?
Yeah. Like, I mean, everyone's got their own path, but man, it probably has extended my career, you know, because it took me so long to figure it out, get that first championship. You know, it's kept me around.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.